M7, lesson 4-1, talking about algebraic expressions and written statements. And this will still be from page 170-ish in your textbook, or as from the previous notes, page 169. And this is just going to be reinforcement. One of the things that students often struggle with is, especially with word problems, is how do you take words and convert them into something that you can use mathematically? That is a challenge. How do you take something like real words or real life phenomenon or something that we see in nature and convert it into a mathematical statement? Why do we use math? What is unique about math as compared to, let's say, Chinese or English or Spanish or, yeah?
We use math in everyday life.
We use math in everyday life, which is true. To some extent you do. Maybe you don't use complicated algebraic statements in everyday life, but you do use them every day. But math is considered the universal language, meaning that it doesn't matter where you're from, okay, what your heritage, what your race, ethnicity, when you were born, or in what country. Math is the one thing that is the same in every part of the world. Believe it or not, math was not developed by Americans, was not developed by the English. Math has its roots in the Middle East and Asia. Okay, actually, does anyone know where our number system 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 came from? Yeah? I believe, and this may very well be wrong, though I'm going on record online saying this, I believe 0 and some of our other numbers were developed by certain Islamic groups. Okay, so a lot of what most of our, classics like Plato and the Greek writings and stuff were all kept, and we've added to them over the years. Greeks have kind of had a lot to do with the different math and especially geometry that we know today. Okay, and so part of this whole thing is understanding how to read it. Okay, so we're going to practice that today. Today is mostly practice. Okay, we're going to start with an example from your book. Okay, I've already have it taken a picture, so we're going to go ahead and just paste it in here. And I need to edit it before I put it up here so that bunches of answers aren't showing up. No, that's okay. The answers to this problem is going to be up here. Huh? Huh? Well, I don't need my book. I've already got it taken a picture of. Okay? I know, which is why I chose it. Because I want to work through it with you. All right, it's called guided problem solving. I'm your guide, and we're going to be problem solving. How many of you have actually mowed lawns? Anyone mow lawns? Okay, very good. Anybody mow other people's lawns? Okay, very good. All right, a student, maybe this is you, mows one lawn each weekday after school, and 2 lawns on Saturday. She earns $15.75 per lawn. Write an algebraic expression for the amount of money she makes in W weeks. Okay? So let's start with the information we know. Sometimes we just have to write it out so that it's easy to see it all right there. So we know that she mows 1 lawn each weekday. Okay? Well, how many weekdays are there? 7. There are not 7. 5. There are 5 weekdays. Okay, why we call Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday weekdays, and Saturday, Sunday weekends is beyond me, because really, Saturday is the end of the week, Sunday is the beginning of the week, so it should be 5 weekdays, a weekend, and a week start. But alas, we don't do that. I don't know. Yeah, I know. Americans, weird.
Wait. Sunday
is the start of the week, of every week.
Yeah, it is. Sunday, Monday.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we'll just let that one go. I mean, there is a calendar in the room that's very clear. So there are 5 weekdays. So we know that she earns $15.75 per lawn. So we know that she does 5 lawns during the week. I'm going to put a little at symbol here at $15.75 per lawn. I'm going to put a little dash here. That means per lawn. And how many on Saturdays? Yeah, Isabella? Yeah. So she does 2 lawns on Saturdays at $15.75 per lawn. And if we add all of that up, we could find basically that she earns a certain amount of money in a given week. Okay, so this is all 1 week. If there was a different rate on Saturdays, which sometimes there is, okay, then we might have to distinguish that. But what do we notice here? Is there really a different rate? No. So in a given week, she does how many lawns? Total. Gretchen? No. No. Add them. Yep, she does 7. Very good. Nice job. She does 7 total lawns. Let me go ahead and make this a different color here. She does 7 total lawns at $15.75 each. Okay. How would we find how much she makes per week? Caitlin? Yeah, we would multiply the two numbers. Okay. How many of you still are writing this down? Okay. Go ahead and take just a moment and keep writing it down. For those of you that already have it written down, if you do, that's great. Would you please take out your calculators and multiply 7 lawns times $15.75 each. By the way, that's pretty good. I don't know. Maybe that I didn't earn that kind of cash when I mowed lawns. Wow. Wow, that's incredible. Now, you know, I think that if I paid somebody to mow my lawn, I would have to pay them more since I own 3/4 of an acre. You know, so I have a lot of grass. I have a lot of grass. Most of it is all grass. So I have a lot. And I live in the city of Fort Wayne, and I have a pretty large lawn. I live out north of Fort Wayne, yes, but in the city still. Okay, I'm going to move on, but ladies and gentlemen, since this lesson is not very long, I'll give an opportunity later in class to go back, okay? So don't worry. We're going to go ahead and do the math here, okay? You can go ahead and put your hands down. I'm going to just go ahead and work it out here on the screen. We have 7 lawns. And we are going to multiply that by $15.75, because that's how much we get per lawn. Okay, so we're going to multiply those two numbers. For the sake of practice, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to go ahead and do this the long ways. Okay, just because sometimes it's good for us to practice our long multiplication. So I'm going to go ahead and do this right here. 15.75 times 7, and really I should probably move that over. 7.00, like so. Okay. No, I'll go just times 7. That'll be probably better.
Wait, I have the answer, but you need it's not lined up.
All right, we'll go back and do it the other way.
Oh my goodness. Oh, I just erased all of that.
And here we go. Now, because I would start with 2 zeros, I can start by just putting 2 placeholders right here. Okay? And should I zoom in on that?
Sure.
Oh, yeah, okay, here we go. Sure. All right. Now I'm going to do 7 times 5. What is that?
35.
Yep, I'm starting with 7 and I'm going times 5. So 7 times 5 is 35. So I'm going to put a 5 here and a 3 up here. Okay. Oh, yes, very good. 3 over here. See, this is why we practice. Then I do 7 times 7. 7 times 7 is what? Oh, it is indeed a lovely 49. And we add 3, 52, so we put then a 2. We carry the 5 over. It's called regrouping. 7 times 5, again, is the lovely 35, and we add 5, and that is 40. Oh, I love good, nice, round, even numbers. And we put a 4 up here. Nice, 4. 7 times 1 is 7, and then plus 4 is 11, and we put it here. Oh, and we got this beautiful long set of digits. How many places do I move the decimal? Isabella?
3, 4.
There are 4 numbers to the right of the decimals altogether, so I move it 4. So I'm going to use a green pen, and I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. Ladies and gentlemen, this particular individual, this young lady, earns $110.25 every week. Okay, every week she earns this. That's not bad. That's really not bad cash. Okay, that definitely will buy you the latest Taylor Swift album. I know you all love T Swift. Hey, don't be ragging on T Swift now. Oh, all right, excuse me. We gotta mute this. Yo. That's. Okay, you all be hating now. We need to stop hating. We're gonna. All right. Now listen. Shh. The question is from our guided problem solving. Not how much does she earn every week, but how many lawns does she? Well, I guess it is. How many lawns does she mow in 1 week is 7. Okay. But it first asks us in that top part, write an algebraic expression for the amount of money she makes in W weeks. In W weeks. So you need a term that you can plug in the number of weeks and get out how much money she has made total. Okay? So if she works 2 weeks or 3 weeks or 4 weeks or 5 weeks, okay? So we got to kind of figure that out. When you're working with multiplication and division, please write this down. I'm going to write out a nice little sentence for you here. Okay? When working with multiplication or division, you almost always will reference the variable in the written. I know it's a lot, but write it down. It's a good thing to take note of. In the written statement. Okay, what do I mean by this? Because this is kind of a wordy little sentence here. When working with multiplication or division, you almost always will reference the variable in the written statement. So for instance, when they say W weeks, they're referencing the variable W in terms so that they want you to put it in your expression in place of however many weeks the person works. You saw this in other parts of your homework too. If you please take a look, I'm looking at one of your textbooks right now. Last night, number 12, 4 more than S shirts. Notice that they referenced the letter S there. The quotient of P and 5. Okay, P, they're referencing that there. If you look at especially number 16. This is a classic textbook example. Okay, there's a pun there. Textbook example. Number 16. Your job pays $7 per hour. Write an algebraic expression for your pay in dollars for working H hours. They reference the variable they want you to use. H hours, and H represents hours, but the hours can vary. It could be you can work 1 hour, 3 hours, 5 hours, 10 hours, 14,000 hours. It doesn't matter. So when we are working with multiplication and division, okay, we oftentimes will reference the variable. And so if you look at the first slide, they reference it here. I'm going to highlight it for you. W weeks. Okay, W weeks. So, what we're going to do is we've got to come up with a statement that represents how much you can make in any amount of weeks. Ms. Lixon?
You wouldn't need to figure out how much money you made, though. You just make that into an algebraic expression, wouldn't you?
Well, sort of. This is what they're saying, okay? And maybe you guys can, I'm going to have you figure this out in a table first. Here's the number of weeks. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, she makes how much per week? How much does she make per week? Okay, 110.25. So if she worked 1 week, she'd make 110.25. What about 2 weeks? How much would she make? Yeah, Savannah?
221.
Close. 220.50. How about 3 weeks? Okay, 330.75. And in 4 weeks? $441. Now, hey, check this out. In 1 month, she made almost almost 450 bucks. That's not bad. Now she's gonna have some costs. You know, she's gotta put gas in the lawnmower and whatnot, and get from place to place. But really, that's not bad cash. However, let's say instead of weeks, we put the letter, and don't freak out on me now, W. Okay. So how much money would she make? It's got to be something with W in it. Okay? This is a classic example, oftentimes in math. Take a look, all of you, up here at me. Oftentimes in math, you will see a list. You will see this every year. You'll see this as we progress this year, where they're going to give you some examples. They'll give you some information. They'll give you some data. And then at the very end, they throw a letter in there. They're like, hoo, 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 see what you can do. Okay? So they threw W in there. And now, okay. So what they want you to do is they want you to write something over here that if you plugged in 1, 2, 3, or 4, you would get out the answer. This is what we call a function. You put something in for W, and you get something out, the amount of money worked. Okay? So did I add these two? Did I take 1 and I add it to 110? Okay, did I add these two? Okay, no, I didn't. I didn't take 110 plus 1 and get 110. Okay, what could I do with these two so that I'd get 110 out? I could multiply them, sure. What about with 2? What would if I multiplied here, what would I multiply the second one by to get 220.50? Yeah, Macy.
It would be 2 times 110.25.
Yeah, that's exactly it. It'd be 2 times the first amount, 110.25. And if I did 3 times that, I get 330.75. So if I put in 3, multiply by 110.25, I get out 330.75. This is called a function, okay? Function. So you could have and there's a classic function factory that I might have drawn on a board not too long ago. Yep. All right, so this is what this would look like, okay? You have 110.25, and I'm going to put a W next to it. Now, if I put a letter next to a number, what operation am I automatically implying you should do? Macy? Multiplication, okay? So make a little note. If there is a letter next to a number, ... multiply. Exactly. Multiply. So now I've done what they wanted. I could plug anything in for W and find out how much money she would make. Let's say we want to know 52 weeks. Let's say she did this every week for a year. She lives in the South where they don't get snow. Okay? So let's say she does this for 52 weeks. Plug in 52. Okay? So 110.25 times 52, and you'll find out how much she makes a year. She could snow blow lawns here in Indiana. Yes, that would be a lot. I think I would up the ante there. You know, the whole cold business. Wow, that's not a bad chunk of change.
What do you mean if there's a letter next to a number? You could add.
No. You only add if there's a plus. You only divide if there's a division sign. You only subtract if there's a minus. Okay, how much did she make? 5,733 a year. That's some decent pocket change. At $5,733, she'd have just enough to buy a decent used vehicle. Okay? Uh-huh. You could buy the tires for a Camaro. A decent used car. Okay. Last but not least, we are going to draw a picture to represent the amount of money she makes in 1 week. We're going to draw a picture. Okay, the amount of money she makes in 1 week.
I don't understand how we're answering the question here.
Well, first of all, write an algebraic expression for the amount of money she makes in W weeks. Well, that's what we did here in the green at the bottom, 110.25W. Then they asked us how many lawns does she mow in 1 week. Well, we found that out, 7 total lawns. And the last but not least, we need to draw a picture to represent the amount of money she makes in 1 week. So we're going to draw a picture, okay? We're going to draw a picture. This could take a lot of different forms. If I had to draw a picture, I would say something like this. I'm going to draw, okay, at the top, okay, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Okay, and what I'm going to do with this is I'm going to draw a little box. I'm going to draw a little box under each one with 15, and how much was it? How much did she earn per lawn? No. How much did she earn per lawn? Not per week. $15.75? Okay, so I'm going to say this. Every box represents a lawn. I'm going to put $15.75 in each box. She did 1 lawn per day after school. That's not really that bad. Though that's not, well, depending on the size of the lawn, I guess. Oh. And then on Saturdays, how many boxes should there be? Yep. And so if you were to add up all the boxes, you would find out how much she made per week. Why is there no box under Sunday? Yeah. She doesn't mow the grass on Sunday. Very good. Yep.